There we go. I wanted to, thank you, Dawn. I wanted to jump on today, and so I'm still away from home. Oh, let me get this set up. It's falling down here. Let me tighten that up. There we go. And I wanted to jump on today and offer my thoughts. And I don't know who needed to hear this today. And I had said I'm away from home. I'm actually in a hotel, and I have been not reminiscing. I actually been thinking and listening to audio books while getting some work done. Wife is taking care of some business while we're here in Massachusetts, and I wanted to say I don't know who needed to hear this. When you have put things into motion that has created a negative outcome for yourself, there is a price to pay. So I'm gonna use myself as an example because I have no problem with transparency because I wish more people would be transparent so more folks would understand what they had to go through to get to where they are. Now, with that said, let's fix my camera here because I'm still not happy with where that is. Okay. All right. Let me see what we got going on here. No, that's gonna turn that there. There we go. Now, any of you who know me, and if you don't, yes, I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, author, and educator. You know that. Well, now you do. But I'm also a former misogynistic whore. Yeah, I said that. Misogynistic whore. I practiced misogyny, which the whole world revolved around me. And my whole life was centered on how often I could have sex. That's what my focus was. And when you have that type of focus, and I wrote about it in my book, From Gigolo to Jesus. So if you've never read my book, make sure you get a copy. There is a price to pay for living your life that way. There is a price to pay when you make the transition from that life. And when I wrote From Gigolo to Jesus, on the cover it says, from misogyny to monogamy. And I explained to you what that has been like. And let me explain to you. The price most people don't want to pay. They're forced to pay. You know, for my Christians and brothers and sisters, you know that the word says the wages of sin is death. But I'm going to tell you what a lot of Christian brothers and sisters get wrong with that word. They think that death is a physical one. But death comes in many forms. There's social death, death of your relationships, an emotional death, death of your peace of mind, spiritual death, a complete disconnection to you and your faith, financial death, where now because of what you put into motion, you now got to pay for that. And so now you don't have the money in your pocket like you wanted to. So as you see, there's multiple deaths. So when the Lord says the wages of sin is death, you don't know which one is going to be. Might be all of them. Now, for my non-Christian brothers and sisters, understand that when you live filthy, y'all call it karma, universal justice, whatever label you want to give it, give it. But in the end, there's a price to pay. The bill always comes due. Now, if you're watching this from wherever you're watching it, give me a 1 in the chat room if you know what I'm talking about or understand or can connect to what I'm talking about. Put a 1 in the chat room. Now, remember, I am on multiple platforms, so I will not be able to see it, but I will go back and respond. And while you're putting that 1 in the chat room, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. I also want you to like this, share this. I want you to tag 4 people. Tag 4 people that you think need to hear this. You don't have to tell them why they need to hear it. Just tag them. Say, come on and check this dude out. And if you think this is something that you're going to need to see later, save it. Now, let me tell you why I'm asking you to do all that. You now let the algorithm on Facebook and a couple of other sites know that I am somebody that you want to see more of. Also, somebody on your page right now who doesn't know me needs to know me. And I'm ready to help them if they need me to help them. Now, let me get back to what I'm saying. I've had to pay some major prices for the way that I live my life. Separation from children. Yeah, because you're going to create children when you're out here living a sexual life. And you're not always going to be able to reconnect with them. Men or women. And when you're out here living a certain lifestyle, you're going to spend a lot more money. And then you're going to have to spend money, whether it's child support, whatever. And when you lose that emotional, and you got to pay that emotional price, loneliness or being alone because you have screwed over other people. So you're not in a relationship and you don't have any prospects of relationships. Understand the outcomes where we are right now, wherever you are watching this from me right now. There are things you put into motion days, months, years before that brought you right to this point. And there are going to be things you're going to put into place right now that's going to affect your tomorrow. But there's always a price to pay. And as a counselor, my job is to help people understand how to deal with that price. There's going to be blood on your hands. And one of the ways I explained this earlier, I was talking to a friend. Imagine being in a hole with all your problems, all your issues, all the people that have a problem with you and all the people that you hurt, all of that in a hole. And they all have a knife. And the only way for you to get out that hole is you got to go through all of that to get to the ladder to climb out. What you think gonna happen? The longer you stay in that hole, the worse it's gonna get for you, right? So to get out that hole, you're gonna leave some blood on the table. To get out that hole, you're gonna have to fight, struggle, and you're gonna be in a lot of pain. But here's the thing that I know. When you get out that hole, I'm gonna speak positivity into your life. When you get out that hole, yes, you're going to be in pain. But I know that you can recover. I know that if you're serious, you won't go back in there. And that's where the transition begins. That's where the transformation starts to happen. I've gone through it myself. I have the scars, the emotional and spiritual scars, as well as past memories that can become very negative if I allowed them to. So I'm not speaking just from some textbook. I am speaking about my own experiences as a man that was in that hole with a lot of the problems that I created. And I had to leave a lot of blood on the table. Now, I'm saying fictional now. I don't want you to think that somebody was out there cutting me, but it felt like that. And this is something that cuts across men, women, doesn't make a difference. I don't care what your persuasion is. I don't care what your gender identification is. I don't care about none of that. You will pay a price when you have put negative things out there. The chickens always find their way home. The chickens always come home to roost, as Brother Malcolm X said when he was talking about the death of John F. Kennedy. And when I made the decision to become a crisis specialist, some people go, what is that? What is a crisis specialist? I will tell you. It just simply means that I want you to bring me your pain because I am going to help you fix what's wrong. I am going to help you address what's wrong. So what makes me a specialist? Because I do this on a regular. I went to school to do this. I've been out on these streets to do this. And I'm not fearful to do this. And if this resonates with you, put a 1 in the chat room. If you understand what I'm talking about right now, put a 1 in the chat room. Come on, let me see who's rocking with me today. And again, at me if you have something that you want to say to me. Say it and then at me if you want me to come directly to your post. All right, and even if you don't agree with it, put it in the chat and at me, and I'll come speak to it. I'm not fearful. I don't run from it. Because I've left my blood on the table. I've left my blood on the floor. And I do everything I can not to shed anymore. And so now, bandaged up, healed up, I go back into the holes with other people and help bring them out. Yeah, I climb down in there with you. Throw my hand out and say, come on, this is the way out. And if you go, no, but it's going to hurt. Yeah, it is. And I'm not going to lie to you. And let me give you an example of what I'm saying. If you're a woman who has had a negative past, maybe did some things that she wasn't proud of, maybe undercut some people she wasn't proud of, maybe slept with more people than she wanted to, maybe lied and hustled and did whatever, maybe just did some things you weren't supposed to do. And now you got to deal with the outcomes of those things. Is it going to hurt? Yes. Yes, it's going to hurt. Can you grow from it? Of course you can. Can you become better? Of course you can. Let's say you're a dude like I was, and everything about your life centered on what was going on below and how many women that you could go out here and get down with. And you've had multiple wives and you got multiple children and you're more about your paper than you have been being a father, a boyfriend, a husband. And now you want to change. And now you want to address yourself knowing that you've hurt other people. Is there blood to be spilled? Yes, there is. Are there people that's going to dislike you? They waiting in that hole for you. They standing there. Come on, you got to come this way, bro. Because you're going to pay. Are some of those people that love you or claim to love you? Yeah, they in there. Are there family members in that hole? Yeah, they in there too. Enemies and loved ones all in the hole with a blade waiting to get their little poke. The longer you stay there, the worse it gets. Now, I want you to take time with everything that I said. Because the biggest question is, Mr. Keith, how do I fix that? How do I avoid that? Well, first, stop trying to avoid it. You're going to go through something. Second is get with somebody who can help you. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Last summer, I made the decision to get a business coach. But I had to accept that I was failing at the way that I was doing business before, even though I thought that I was successful. And in some corners of the world, I was successful. But to climb out of the hole that I was in, whew. So I went and found, now actually let me take that back. Glenn P. Brooks Jr. found me because he has remained my friend for close to 6 years. Well, now 6, but at that point 5. And he reached out to me and said, when you're ready, brother, I'm still here waiting on you. Because in 2015, he did the same thing. He said, Keith, I hear and see the things that you're doing, and I think you could do some great things. I would like to work with you. I heard him, but I didn't hear him. I was listening, but I wasn't hearing. I didn't realize God had sent him to me. He did. What you mean, Keith? How you know God sent him? Come on, you just, that's cap, as the kids say. Well, here's why I'm going to tell you it's not cap. Glenn told me a long time ago, I knew we'd work together, and he consistently reached out, see how I'm doing, check in, follow some of the things that I was doing, and would offer, when you're ready, brother, I'm here. And I'm going to show you when you're ready to come up out of your hole, what changes for you. When you brave yourself through the hole and the pit of what you go through, and now you are trying to heal up from those cuts and those stabs and from all that was going on in that hole, it'll be people like Glenn who are there to apply the bandage because they'll say, I can help you. People like myself will be there. Shout out to Brian Groves, my partner from Italy. again, reached out to me in 2015. I don't know what it was about 2015, but I was going through some very negative things in the school that I was teaching at. And God sent me two men then that later on, along with my wife, and I don't ever exclude my wife, who knew I could do better than what I was doing. And they kept their hands out while I was trying to fight my way out of that hole. And so when I got out of that hole, they helped bandage me up. And not only did they help bandage me up, they helped guide me. So if you're watching this and you're in your own hole and you're fighting and you're trying to hold your ground, but it's like, Keith, I'm trying, but they keep stabbing me. I can't get it done. I get it. I understand. Keep fighting. Call out for help. And what you'll be surprised at is that the Lord will not only send someone like myself, the Lord will show you that some people like me have already been there and they're in the hole fighting with you. You just can't see it until you start to focus on getting out of that negative situation. And then all of a sudden you will start to see somebody saying, come on this way, let's go. We can get up out of here. And you know how you're going to know them? By the stripes on their back, the cut wounds on them. And the closer you get to the ladder, the more you're going to hear other people say, I got you. Come on. I can't come all the way down there, but I can come here. They're waiting on you. The game is if you can't make the moves to get out of the hole, you actually don't know that there's help waiting on you. Now, the Lord will send you one or two people to come down there and fight, but he's not going to keep sending people down into the pit of super negativity for them to be damaged and you're not sure what you want to do. He'll send you one or two. But when you fight through and you start to say to yourself internally, I need to change. I want to change. What you see changes. What you hear changes. What you feel changes. And all of a sudden, someone like me, someone like Glenn, someone like Brian, someone like my wife Tiffany, and whoever else around you will be there at the ladder calling you, just like in a horror movie, this way out. And when you make it out, you will start to notice that people will show up to help bandage you up, feed you, and walk with you. Now, I know many of you are watching this and going, nah, that's cap. Nah, that's not true. You know why? Because you're still stuck in that hole. And some of us started to climb out, got fearful of what we didn't know. We turned around and jumped right back into the same hole. And then tried to make the pokes, makes the stabs, make the cuts acceptable. Am I lying? Okay. Everybody watching, please rock with me on this. Put a 1 in the chat room. If you have attempted to help a friend, now hear me now, put a 1 in the chat room if I'm right. Put this in the chat room. Have you ever tried to help a friend, clearly showing them a better way to do whatever it is that they wanted to do or what they wanted to be, and they have told you no, they're going to continue to embrace the negativity? You need to leave him. He's hurting you. I'll make it work. Why you with her, bruh? She's doing you dirty. We're going to be okay. Why are you still at that job? They disrespect you. I don't want to make that. I don't want them to lose any more money. Whatever it is. If you have heard somebody embrace the negative after you have offered and showed them a way out, put a 1 in the chat room for me, please. And if I'll put my own 1 up here because I have seen it myself. Let me drop a 1 in here. I'm gonna drop a 1 in there too. There we go. I just dropped my own 1 in there because I've seen it too, and I see it on the regular. I don't come on as often as some people would like me to. I'm trying to build something here. But when I come on like this, it is because I want somebody to know there is somebody who's willing to come down that ladder and come in there. But let me tell you this. If I come down in the hole to help you because you asked me to, And then when I get down in there, you start panicking because you don't really know if help is what you want. I'm out. Because I'm not going to stay here and get battered and bruised when I know somebody else is in their hole screaming for help. Now, let me explain to you how I used to tell kids when I was teaching. I will throw the life preserver out to save you. I will do that. I want to see you make it to safety. But if you take the life preserver and throw it back in the boat and say, I don't want it, okay, I'm not throwing it back. I'm going to go help somebody else first. And then the 2 of us, 3 of us, 4 of us, 5 of us, 6 of us, whatever, will come back and then try to help you. Now, if you're not there, when it's all said and done, you made a choice. So before I jump off today, before I close this out, I want to ask you a very, very serious question. How many of you watching right now are dealing with your own hole of problems, situations, issues, people who are poking at you, and at times you don't have the answer? If that is you, I want you to put me in the chat room. Just put me. I'm not asking you what the hole looks like. I don't want to know that right now. Just let me know if you're somebody going through something right now. I want you to put a me in the chat room. We don't have to talk about what it is right now. And I'm going to tell you why I'm asking you to put me. I want other people that's going to come and see this, see other people admit that they have something going on. Because then when they decide if they're going to put me or not, and they're not sure, when they see that somebody else put me, they're going to go ahead and put me in the chat. So if you're going through your own hole with people in there poking you, situations in there poking you, problems in there poking, fighting with transformation and transition in your own life, all of that's in there. If you're scared to leave that blood on the table, put me. Because I'm telling you, I've been there. And there's a price to pay. I'm 53 years old, and I cannot go back and change what I've done. And I do not live with regrets, because then that means I'm stuck on the past. I accept my failures. I accept my successes. But all of that got me to here. So today and the next day and the day after that, until I close my eyes, my goal and my job is to help as many people get through their own situation as I did, whether inside my family or outside or whoever. If I am going to call myself a man of God, which I do, then my job is to help anybody who needs that help. And part of the way that I do that is this right here. So again, if you don't know who I am, and this is the first time you're watching me, I am Keith K.L. Bowden, crisis specialist, award-winning author, educator, and man of God, who is telling you right now, bring me your pain. Yeah, I said that. Bring me your pain. He's asking for it? You're damn right. Because what that means is I'm asking you to bring me the problem. Because now I put myself on blast. Because if I tell you to bring it to me, I better be prepared, right? Well, I am. Because when you bring me your pain, I already believe ahead of time, we can fix this. And if I can't fix it, I'm going to help you find somebody that can. So I'm going to walk you through that hole. And even if I got to push you up the ladder first and take a couple extra stabs myself, I'll be okay. I'm a big guy. I'm built for this. But my faith is what I wrap myself in. My belief in what I do, I wrap myself in. My education and my knowledge, I wrap myself in. So I don't come down that hole not prepared. I bring a little something else when I come down that hole too. So don't think I ain't poking back. In a literal sense. I ain't out here stabbing people. I don't want you to get it the wrong way. Because I've made this decision at this stage in my life. I don't work for anybody else. I work for me. And I've made this decision to build Mental Health Ministries, because I believe part of my service as a man of God is to find a way to help the people on this planet, white, black, whatever. Yeah, I said it. I know we're in some real partisan parts of the story right now. And I know whites is on one side and blacks is on the other side, and everybody is fighting everybody. I'm in the middle. And I'm going to help you if you're white. I'm going to help you if you're black. I'm going to help you if you're Asian. I'm going to help you if you're African. I'm going to help you if you're Caribbean. I'm going to help you if you're a down south black person, a northern black person. I don't care if you need help. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're non-binary. I don't care if you say you need help. I got you. And if it's something I can't rock with, I will tell you. And the reason why is because we got enough phoniness going on. And that's another reason why I'm not on every day. Yeah, I'm more consistent than I was, but I'm not on every day. I have work to do. And I just don't want to be on every day. I don't want to hear myself every day. So I'm not sure if y'all do. But when I come on, I'm here to help. And I'm not here for the games. And if you want to collaborate with me, if you're somebody that says, hey, I'd like to work with that dude, don't waste my time. If you reach out, let's talk. Let's figure out what we're going to do. I'll help you. And I would ask for the same. But don't waste my time if you're not sure what you want to do. Because somebody is right now in pain and we got to figure out a way to help them. I know I do. I'm not asking anybody else to do nothing that I'm not doing myself. So again, as I bring this to a close, you should have liked this by now. You should have shared this by now. And you should have tagged 4 people. 4 people. Now, you're going to tell me you don't know 4 people who need to hear this? And if you're really bold, save it. Save it and come back to it and go, I need to listen to this brother again. I'm going to tell you why. We're going to trick this Facebook algorithm to get people to be able to hear me. Because believe it or not, if you don't do those things, if there's no engagement, the algorithm won't move the video. People won't see it. So if you wonder why you're seeing certain videos, it's because a lot of people started watching it from your page, and that creates the attention. But I'm here for it. I'm here for that smoke. I'm here to help. I'm not no influencer. I'm not no internet anything. I'm not any of those things. I'm simply a man who wants to help, who asks people to bring their pain to me because I believe we can fix it. I'm simply a counselor who wants to help. I want to build mental health ministries. I want to be able to see people do better. And that is my business. So yes, there's a price. But when you think about the price you're paying for standing that hole, what I'm charging is not that much. So I would love your feedback. Please leave it in the chat. Hopefully, enough of you have watched this, shared this, liked this, and tagged some people. And I will gladly come back and respond to everybody that responded to me. I'm on multiple platforms, so do not think that I'm ignoring anyone because I can't see what everybody is putting on all of the platforms. But if you at me, connect my name to your post, I will definitely respond. All right. I want you to have a wonderful evening. I got to get back to these progress reports, and I will see you when I get back into Delaware. This is the first time I've traveled since pre-COVID. And it actually felt pretty good to be in a hotel, but I ain't gonna lie, I miss home. But I'm gonna start getting more out of the house to do more things. I'm vaccinated. It is what it is. And I want to see what happens. And I want to be more part of the world to be out here amongst people. Because I can't help you if I'm not there for you, and I will be. Have a wonderful day, guys. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, award-winning author, educator, and man of God. And I pray that what I have said to you matters and has moved you, and I'll come back to read your comments. Have a great day, guys. God bless.